Hi guys, this is your girl Sarah, and I had missed you a lot. So today I have a story to tell you guys. Yes, it's a story on my first job interview. So before we get into the story, kindly don't forget to click the subscribe button down there, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment, and don't forget to click that notification bell. Yes. So let's get into our story, guys. So yes, my first job interview experience. Yeah. So back then in December, there's this friend of mine, Adi, linked me up with a job in Kisumu. That is why I had to relocate to Kisumu. So it was an upcoming radio station and they needed editors, so I sent my documents, and yeah, I was called to go for an interview, and that is when I decided to go for an interview. So I went, met these guys, did the interview, then went back home. At that time I don't have relatives in Kisumu, so a friend of mine helped me out, so I was staying at her place. We studied with her in high school. She is my high school mate, actually classmate in high school. So I was like, just give me time, like 3 to 4 days, host me because I'm coming for an interview. She was like, yeah, just come, I don't have any problem. So yeah, then now this radio job was not how do I put it? Like, I can't say whether it was like ilikuwa to work. I would go for their meetings, give my input on whatever I felt was necessary. Then I told myself, like, I can't be staying in someone's house and I'm just seated waiting for a response, which maybe or maybe not cannot be positive or negative. So I continued applying jobs. I always apply jobs on these online websites. Then I came across my current job. Yes. Then I applied. They needed call operators, and you know, we are hustling. You don't have to get that job that you studied for, but at the end of the day, we have to make ends meet. So I applied. Then after a week or so, I was called by the HR. Hello, am I speaking to Sarah? Yes. I'm calling you because of an application you did, and I just want to let you know that you are invited for an interview. Do you remember any job you applied for? Then I was like, oh my god, I always apply so many jobs on those online websites. I even forget, like, the job descriptions, the kind of job I applied to. So like, I have to go back, recheck what that job description was, responsibilities. Then I just told him the truth, like, hey, I always apply so many jobs, so like, I don't keep them up in my mind. Like, then he was like, okay, I'm just letting you know that you're invited for an interview, and kindly, before you come for that interview, ensure you have gone through the job description well, because that will be part of the interview. And I was like, okay, thank you for the thumbs up. So now this day for the interview came. So we reached. It was I work with a solar company. Yeah, as a call agent. So that day of the interview came, and they were like, we did a written interview, and the first question was, what is communication? Then I was like, oh my god, wait, am I back to school? Because last I checked, in first year, like, that was when I was doing the communication unit, it was like, define communication, what is communication? So that was question 1 in that written interview. So there were a series of questions, then you were answering, like, ni kama tulikuwa, it's like we were in an exam room, we were separated, like, I don't know. So yeah, we did the interview, then I passed. Now it was time for the oral interview, that one-on-one, yeah. So this interview had 5, if not 5, then I guess 6 interviewers. So people are going up. Then they had a list, so they were calling us by a list. So people are going up, coming down, happy, and I was like, okay, what is not happening? Then my time reached, and nikapanda. So the interview was held in a boardroom. Then I knocked. They told me to enter. I entered, then waited for them to tell me to sit. So that is when I sat. It is good to have courtesy, by the way. So anytime you go for an interview, wait for them to tell you to sit down, because the moment you sit down without them telling you, they'll be like, oh, yeah, maybe this person is not courteous enough and we can't talk with him or her. So yeah, so I sat. Then everything was okay, like from the questions and whatever, what have you. So in my CV, I always put what I do. So I have a website, but currently I write using WordPress.com. So I always put that link on my CV. So apparently one of the interviewers went through what I write. So during that interview, she was like, yeah, I see you're a writer. Why did you decide to write? And you know, writing is my passion. I'm gonna say my hobby. Yeah, so I answered. Then she's like, okay, now that you've been writing, can you tell us what is what story you wrote about Otile Brown? And I was like, I have written so many stories about Otile Brown. She was she was asking like the latest story I had written about Otile Brown back then. I tried to figure out, like I tried to remember. Then it was not coming. So I just told her, like, I have written so many stories about Otile Brown, and maybe if I can read them one by one. Then she was like, okay, go ahead. I mentioned the ones that I could remember. Apparently that latest one was not in the ones that I had mentioned, and she was like, but you've not mentioned the one I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, I have forgotten. Forgive me about that, but I have forgotten. Then she was like, okay. So I don't know, the interview became intense. Mpaka nikaanza ku tense. Like I had this kafia. I even started crying. Guys, like literally crying kwa interview. Then they had placed bottles of water kwa table. Then one of the interviewers was like, that water is for people like you. So we're giving you time to drink water, then we can continue. Then I was like, no, let's just continue. Like I just wanted that moment to like nisahau your story. Then wanna continue. The moment they continue, tears start flowing again. Then I'm like, wait, what is wrong? But anyway, the interview ended well. Then when I was walking out, one of the interviewers just told me to note that whenever I'm going for an interview, I just try as much to remove that fear, and I try as much engaging with people, so that anytime like I'm having such an experience, it should not reoccur again. And I took that point home. So yeah, if you have gone through such an experience in your interview or any other interview you have gone through, just share with me below on the comment section, and I will be glad to hear your stories, guys. And yeah, and anyway, you will notice I have a new look. I know many of you will ask where my dreads are, or where my locks are, but they are just plaited with using this piece here. So that is where I have hidden my locks. So yeah, this is, I hope I hope I'm looking good. Guys, what do you think about the new hairstyle? Also, before we end this video, yeah, tell me what you think about this hairstyle. I will appreciate. Anyway, don't forget to comment if you have had such an experience as me, or if you have ever cried in an interview, and let me know what you guys have gone through. Like, let's share. And if you think you have a content or a topic you want me to talk about, don't feel shy to reach out. I go by the name Sarah Cheng on all social media platforms. So guys, let's connect. That was my short story. See you guys next time. Toodles.